He had passed beyond the afflictions of this world. Walt Disney had at last attained perfection. Laughter is America's most important export. There is more treasure in books than in all the pirates' loot on Treasure Island. The era we are living in today is a dream of coming true. A man should never neglect his family for business. The worst of us is not without innocence, although buried deeply it might be. After the rain, the sun will reappear. There is life. After the pain, the joy will still be here. Leadership means that a group, large or small, is willing to entrust authority to a person who has shown judgment, wisdom, personal appeal, and proven competence. Fantasy and reality often overlap. The important thing is the family. If you can keep the family together, and that's the backbone of our whole business, catering to families, that's what we hope to do. There's nothing funnier than the human animal. Our heritage and ideals, our code and standards, the things we live by and teach our children, are preserved or diminished by how freely we exchange ideas and feelings. You reach a point where you don't work for money. You can't just let nature run wild. The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. I always like to look on the optimistic side of life, but I am realistic enough to know that life is a complex matter. Do a good job. You don't have to worry about the money, it will take care of itself. Just do your best work, then try to trump it. The more you like yourself, the less you are like anyone else, which makes you unique. All our dreams can come true, if we have the courage to pursue them. All the adversity I've had in my life, all my troubles and obstacles, have strengthened me. You may not realize it when it happens, but a kick in the teeth may be the best thing in the world for you. Why worry? If you've done the very best you can, worrying won't make it any better. First, think. Second, believe. Third, dream. And finally, dare. Get a good idea and stay with it. Dog it, and work at it until it's done right. The difference between winning and losing is most often not quitting. All you've got to do is own up to your ignorance honestly, and you'll find people who are eager to fill your head with information. Everyone falls down. Getting back up is how you learn how to walk. Never get bored or cynical. Yesterday is a thing of the past. People often ask me if I know the secret of success and if I could tell others how to make their dreams come true. My answer is, you do it by working. When you're curious, you find lots of interesting things to do. And one thing it takes to accomplish something is courage. Crowded classrooms and half-day sessions are a tragic waste of our greatest national resource, the minds of our children. Children are people, and they should have to reach to learn about things, to understand things, just as adults have to reach if they want to grow in mental stature. Childishness? I think it's the equivalent of never losing your sense of humor. I mean, there's a certain something that you retain. It's the equivalent of not getting so stuffy that you can't laugh at others. I do not make films primarily for children. I make them for the child in all of us, whether he be 6 or 60. Call the child innocence. I don't believe in playing down to children, either in life or in motion pictures. I didn't treat my own youngsters like fragile flowers, and I think no parent should. I have long felt that the way to keep children out of trouble is to keep them interested in things. You're dead if you aim only for kids. Adults are only kids grown up, anyway. Every child is born blessed with a vivid imagination. But just as a muscle grows flabby with disuse, so the bright imagination of a child pales in later years if he ceases to exercise it. It's a mistake not to give people a chance to learn to depend on themselves while they are young. Animation offers a medium of storytelling and visual entertainment which can bring pleasure and information to people of all ages everywhere in the world. Animation is different from other parts. Its language is the language of caricature. Our most difficult job was to develop the cartoon's unnatural but seemingly natural anatomy for humans and animals. Animation can explain whatever the mind of man can conceive. This facility makes it the most versatile and explicit means of communication yet devised for quick mass appreciation. In our animation we must show only the actions and reactions of a character, but we must picture also with the action, the feeling of those characters. I try to build a full personality for each of our cartoon characters, to make them personalities. Of all of our inventions for mass communication, pictures still speak the most universally understood language. I love Mickey Mouse more than any woman I have ever known. When people laugh at Mickey Mouse, it's because he's so human. And that is the secret of his popularity. I only hope that we don't lose sight of one thing, that it was all started by a mouse. Disneyland will never be completed. It will continue to grow as long as there is imagination left in the world. I don't want the public to see the world they live in while they're in the park, Disneyland. I want to feel they're in another world. Disneyland is a work of love. We didn't go into Disneyland just with the idea of making money. We did at Disneyland, in the knowledge that most of the people I talked to thought it would be a financial disaster, closed and forgotten within the first year. Disneyland is a show. I could never convince the financiers that Disneyland was feasible, because dreams offer too little collateral. You can dream, create, design and build the most wonderful place in the world, but it requires people to make the dream a reality. We are not trying to entertain the critics. I'll take my chances with the public. We allow no geniuses around our studio. Movies can and do have tremendous influence in shaping young lives in the realm of entertainment towards the ideals and objectives of normal adulthood. We have created characters and animated them in the dimension of depth, revealing through them to our perturbed world that the things we have in common far outnumber and outweigh those that divide us. I take great pride in the artistic development of cartoons. Our characters are made to go through emotions. I wanted to retain my individuality. I was afraid of being hampered by studio policies. I knew if someone else got control, I would be restrained. My greatest reward is that I have been able to build this wonderful organization. I would rather entertain and hope that people learn something than educate people and hope they were entertained. I never called my work an art. It's part of show business, the business of building entertainment. I believe in being a motivator. I am interested in entertaining people, in bringing pleasure, particularly laughter, to others, rather than being concerned with expressing myself with obscure creative impressions. I am not influenced by the techniques or fashions of any other motion picture company. I am corny, you know? But I think there are just about 140 million people in this country who are just as corny as I am. When I was a kid, a book I read advised young artists to be themselves. That decided it for me. I was a corny kind of guy, so I went in for corn. I don't make pictures just to make money. I make money to make more pictures. I have never been interested in personal gain or profit. This business and this studio have been my entire life. Money doesn't excite me, my ideas excite me. Most of my life I have done what I wanted to do. I have had fun on the job. I dream, I test my dreams against my beliefs, I dare to take risks, and I execute my vision to make those dreams come true. Of all the things I've done, the most vital is coordinating those who work with me and aiming their efforts at a certain goal. I don't like formal gardens. I like wild nature. It's just the wilderness instinct in me, I guess. I do not like to repeat successes, I like to go on to other things. I'd say it's been my biggest problem all my life. It's money. It takes a lot of money to make these dreams come true. I have no use for people who throw their weight around as celebrities, or for those who fawn over you just because you are famous. Whenever I go on a ride, I'm always thinking of what's wrong with the thing and how it can be improved. I am in no sense of the word a great artist, not even a great animator. I have always had men working for me whose skills were greater than my own. I am an idea man.